Crystal, your very own personal beauty pro. And when I say I'm a beauty pro, I actually am a professional makeup artist. And along the way, I also became a licensed hairstylist and esthetician. Primary work is in commercial or advertising. I also do some editorial, which is work like magazine work, and runway like New York Fashion Week. In addition to doing what I love sharing pro tips and tricks with people that otherwise might not have access to a pro. Although there's tons of information now due to the social media age on makeup, there still are not tons of professional working makeup artists taking the time to make videos like these regularly on platforms like this. Of course, we have some that we know and love, but it is a challenge. After caring for your personal life, it's definitely a sacrifice to sit and make videos. So it is a labor of love that hopefully people appreciate. I've literally worked on hundreds of faces of all the races, so I'll always have tips and tricks that will apply to every skin tone. Today we are featuring the latest addition to the Divine Rose family from Pat Mcgrath, and congratulations to Dame Patricia. Was bestowed damehood by the Queen, which is an extraordinary accomplishment. Some people may have wanted something different from Divine Rose, and I can understand that. But as for me and my household, we shall support Patricia. I'm also wearing all the pieces I purchased, and at the end of the video, I will do a demonstration for those of you who would like to see it in action. And just about every look I post, I get a request for a quote-unquote tutorial. And while I wouldn't call this one particularly a tutorial, but more of a demonstration, of course, you will always get the bonus pro tips and tricks to amplify your makeup application. Another reason I'm hesitant to call things a tutorial is because a tutorial takes two or more individuals actually. The person teaching and guiding, and then actually someone in the student role to actually execute the look. So how many of you who ask for a tutorial are actually practicing your looks? Let's start with the quad. That pink champagne beautiful shimmer is called Pink Mystique. Next to it is what is a deeper rosy hot pink called Temptation. Then we have that taupey, soft purple, earthly Delight. And then lastly, that beautiful lavender purple called Forbidden Fruit. Here they are, swatched on the skin. So one of the points we'll start with is, does Pat already have some of these shades existing? Because one of the things people love to cry on social media is that something is a dupe. But just to let you in on a little secret, while of course some shades may be similar to one another, there's only so many shades on the planet. Pretty unlikely at Pat's level that she will create an exact dupe of her own products. When you create something, you're very aware of what you created and what the similarities are going to be. Not to say it's impossible, it's just unlikely. Now, with that being said, when I saw this online, which is not always the truest representation, but when I saw this online, I said, that looks real samey. So let's look at some of the shades that are similar. The first one that jumped out at me was this matte pink. The Risque Rose is much deeper, and I'll show you the two pinks side by side. So there you can see the softer of the pinks is in the new quad. And then that gorgeous like lavender purple with the shimmer in it, that Forbidden Fruit. Here's my fabulous blinged out Divine Rose 2 palette. So I wasn't nearly as jealous this time around about the metallic pink packaging. There's a whole story behind this. I actually customized it myself, but Pat Mcgrath and her team did send this palette along with a few other goodies. The Eleganza, whose name I cannot forget, and then there's another kind of taupey purpley one as well. Eleganza is similar, but they're not exactly the same. And then there's this soft matte taupey purple shade. It definitely puts me in the mind of this smoky taupey lavender right here in the Divine Rose 1. But the one in Divine Rose 1 actually is a little lighter. Let's talk about some of my initial impressions about the formula as I've had a little time to touch and play and feel with them and apply them to my hand and also to the eye, most importantly. This is one of her made in the USA with imported ingredients quads. More than one individual noted that they feel like the quads that are made in the US are not quite as creamy and soft as the ones that are made in Italy. That might be true to some degree. However, I will say that Pat McGrath's formula on a bad day are better than many other products on their best. But of course, you want the best quality for your hard-earned coin, so let's talk about these. Two mattes, Temptation and Earthly Delight. Found that they do indeed kick up a bit of product, and they're very soft, and so they're easily disturbed in the pan. So when you put your brush in there, I would definitely tap and place it lightly to minimize kick up and to also minimize fallout. They are creamy to the touch. I had no challenge at all blending them. If they were skipping or not building well or not blending well, then I would have an issue. But a little kick up doesn't raise a red flag as much for me. The two shimmers are creamy and lightweight to the touch. The Pink Mystique, that lighter pink diamond shade, I keep calling it, I think it's so pretty. It in particular is just light as air and gives a beautiful sheen and really melts into the skin. And then the Forbidden Fruit, you can see how pretty that is. That is just a gorgeous lavender taupey purple. Now you do need to actually enjoy shades like these or be a Pat McGrath fan to really get the enjoyment from these. Obviously your looks are going to be more pink or rosy leaning, but there's a little versatility in the quad. You can use the lighter tones for something very soft in daytime with a touch of eyeliner, or the Earthly Delights that would make a nice soft smoky daytime eye. And truthfully, all of them will provide you a subtle look except for the rosy pink, the Temptation. That's going to give you a little bit of edge and depth. And then one of the standout products from the collection that I thought I just couldn't go on without is the highlighter. This is the Divine Rose highlighter. Perfect name for it. It is a divine rosy pink highlighter with gold in it. Now, it does not weigh the 111 pounds that the other highlighter did. This packaging is just stunning still. It doesn't feel cheap when you open and close it. The weight, however, and as you can hear, that maybe does feel a bit inexpensive, but the appearance is pretty and attractive. But if you know anything about Pat and have been with her from the beginning, you know that she will forego packaging sometimes in favor of really amping up the quality of the product. I'm wearing this. I absolutely love the way it goes on the skin. It melts right into the skin. You hear that term a lot, but when a product is really good, that's what it does. It melts into the skin. There's no work, there's no edges, no line of demarcation where the highlighter actually starts and stops. It just emerges, and it's just so pretty. And it's going to flatter a lot of skin tones as well. I say from NC 30 on up can use this as a highlighter, and then the girls that are fairer than that will be able to use it for a gorgeous blush topper. This is so pretty and looks so nice that I am going to definitely have it on my vanity as a daily reach. Thought you might be interested in seeing the highlighter beside the other one. So this is the one that came out back in the year end. Here they are together, so you can see the first one in the gold packaging. It actually is a sort of pale fleshy pink itself. It's not super gold, it's actually more of a neutral. And then the new one, you can see, has a bit more gold in it. Last up we have the Legendary Wear matte lipstick, the Liquilust lipsticks. Now to be honest, I thought that the liquid lipstick ship had sailed, and I was kind of glad to wave goodbye to it because some of the liquid lipsticks, let's be honest, they look so stunning to have that really flat matte look, but they were a bit more high maintenance. If you tried to touch them up, it really wasn't the most attractive. Now I've never tried Pat's formula. I understand that she did have liquid lipsticks before, but these I am impressed by. The deeper rose is the Divine Rose, and the other one is Divine Nude. I'm happy she brought these back because I like the formula. The formula is light as air. It's soft and blendable, and it doesn't dry to a crisp. So we're gonna start this look off with Pat McGrath Permagel Black Coffee Eye Pencil. Pat and her team also included this in their care package when they sent the Divine Rose 2 over, and I was thrilled because I actually had this in my shopping cart. It's really a staple to have a really rich, almost blackened brown coffee eye pencil. It goes on creamy and dreamy. It smokes out well, or it creates intensity, and then it sets in place. So I really love this. So I've started creating the shape on one eye, and so I'll begin on this one. And we're just creating like a little base and a little structure for the look we're going to do. So I'm going to rim out the inner and regular lash line with the chocolate brown, but then I'm also going to create a little smoky angle out here on the outer edge and right above the crease. So I'm not going to place too much because this product really blends and moves well. But while it's still creamy and before it sets, I'm going to take a pencil brush. This is the Sonia G Pencil Pro. Perfect, firm, and soft. So it's firm enough to move that pencil around, but soft enough to create nice smoky edges. So I want the intensity right in the crease, and then I want it to start smoking out above the crease. And I want it to form a very soft wing shape just past the outer corner of the eye. And a small but important tip is to sharpen your pencils, your eye and your lip pencils, before every use. For one, it kind of cleans them off and gives them a fresh start, but also you get more of a precision. I'm gonna apply this smoky plummy shade called Earthly Delight. The mattes in here are a little loose. They kick up a bit of dust, so be careful in your application. My custom is not to load up my brush with much of anything anyway, and even after I just lightly tap in, I still tap off on the back of my hand or on a paper towel, so there's very little. Then you build up gradually. So I want to smoke out the lower edge of the brown. I'm going to smoke it out with that soft plummy shade instead of the pink, which would be pretty too. And try just with any of your looks, like your regular looks, and you're just throwing on a black eyeliner, try taking a little bit of brown and gently smoking out the edges of your black liner. Even for a daytime look, you'll take your look to the next level and you'll look more polished and put together. A lot of people are very careless or in a hurry when it comes to eyeliner, but you look so much more put together when you tighten up your eyeliner application. The next shade I'll use is the hot pink called Temptation. And although it looks hot pink, it's actually more of a deep rose. And it's softer than I expected and really pushing the powder into the brush. And that's something I do with all my looks. I really make sure the shadow is clinging to the brush so that less of it falls on your face. So for this, we're going to still have that pretty wash of pink, but it's not going to be as intense. It's going to be more wearable. So I'm buffing that right in over the brown. Choose this gorgeous like purpley lavender shimmering goodness, and for that I'll use my Sonia G Builder Pro. So we're going to use that to enhance the lid, and we're going to use it from the inner all the way to the outer, but most of the impact will be on the inner and the center of the lid. So soft and weightless and really smooth on the lid. And the last shade in the quad we'll use is the Pink Mystique, this beautiful pink shimmering diamonds. Now for that shade, we're going to layer it right in the center of the eyelid and let it melt into the shades that are already down. That's going to add a really pretty spotlight to the center of the eye. From there, we added some of Pat's liquid liner, which is in a pen form. Typically not the biggest fan of pen forms, but I actually like hers. It's lush and black, and the tip is really precision. When I feel like a durable, synthetic, but still mink-like look, I reach for the Kiss Lash, and this style I will be sure to put in the information. So to test the versatility, we will go back in and we will use that pink again, the matte pink Temptation. Top it off with the Divine Rose highlighter. This is really flattering on the complexion. So to add some refinement and structure to the lips, I actually added Structure Lip Pencil by Pat McGrath. Edged out the very rim with Brown Nouveau. I'm filling most of the lip with the Divine Rose. And then to add a little 3D dimension, we'll add the Divine Nude in the center. And that is the finished look from the latest addition to Pat McGrath's Divine Rose collection. I think it's such a soft, pretty, feminine, romantic collection. And for those who are not used to or don't know what to do with the larger palettes, a quad is a nice way to start and to introduce oneself into the brand if they're into these colors. The highlighter and the lip colors will definitely be a go-to, and I think I'll use that pink as a blush quite often as well. And it's a pretty extension to the Divine Rose 1 and 2. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing you in the very next video, which is coming soon. But until we meet again, keep it pretty.